This WAFLW live stream is proudly brought to you by Optus, proud naming rights partner of the WAFL, and WAFLW. Bupa, proud sponsor of WA football.
Are we on air?
And the West Coast Eagles, supporting WA female footballers to follow their
lights have
dreams.
gone off again. Are we on air?
You got to stand there, Carl?
And a warm welcome to everyone on this Mother's Day Sunday here, and delightful conditions here at Leadville Oval. Welcome to the WAFLW Round 2 match between Subiaco and East Fremantle at the home ground of the Lions. And my name is David Clear, and joining me in commentary this afternoon, our expert commentary team, Clint Degebrot and Emily Johnson. Welcome, Clint.
Thanks very much, Dave. Great to be here, and great to you too, Emily.
Yeah, good to be back again watching Subi as well. Both teams had a good win last week, so be excited to see them again this week.
Yeah, interesting. Not sure if we've got the weather coming up, but it's...
The deck's off.
Interesting today, Clint. Beautiful conditions for football, so the skill level should be quite high.
It is nice and warm, and two good teams in. Both teams have gone up in their quality from last week, I'd say, with a couple of AFL additions to the East Fremantle team and some debutants for both sides as well, which is exciting for everybody.
Yeah, Abby Dowrick M coming in for Subiaco, younger sister of star Mackenzie Dowrick, only 16 years of age. It's an exciting day for her.
Yeah, very exciting. She's dominated in the youth girls competition over the last few years, so she's probably ready to step up at this level. Clint can probably provide a bit of insight on how she plays.
Yeah, inside mid. She'll play forward today. She's so young. She's a terrier head over the ball, and an absolute ball hunter. So she's strong-bodied. She's fierce defensively, and very clever around goals too. Highly skilled player. So much like her sister, right-footed though, and much more body contact than Mackenzie.
We've got the line-up at the moment. It is umpire appreciation round, so both teams lining up, and the two captains, Philippa Seth, and it looks like they're Danica Pescaneri tossing the coin for Subiaco, both shaking the hands of the umpires. So an important time, I suppose, Clint, to appreciate our umpires.
Absolutely. Everyone says you can't have a game without the umpires. You can, but what you can't have is a fair and safe game without umpires. I remember calling our own games at the park when I was a kid. None of them were fair, and none of them were safe. Rebecca Viney, too, on debut for Subiaco. And Kate Inglis-Hodge is playing her first game of senior football for East Fremantle.
All right, well, we might just hear from our all-important sponsors, and we'll be back with the start of the game here at Leadville Oval. Sorry, Carl, we just couldn't see any of the lights. On the stream deck.
If you need it live streamed, you need Front Row Screens. Visit frontrowscreens.com.au.
Nature knows it's better to be part of a group than out on your own. To be surrounded by others whose sole purpose is to keep you safe and well. At Bupa, we call it Members First. A network of thousands of healthcare providers, all there for you. Search Bupa Members First.
It's a high ball. Don't you diddle, don't you daddle, you better skedaddle. You need to run for your life. Well, like Virginia Creeper, well, didn't want to keep her, just maybe for a while. You're a lady in a hurdle. Well, I feel that day.
Hi, Dom Sheed from the West Coast Eagles. I grew up playing my junior footy at Mines Rovers Football Club, just like Kerry. Find your local footy club and register today.
Visit play.afl for more information.
AFL is a game for everyone. Find a version that's right for you.
where we've just seen the start of the game. We're about 2 minutes underway and no score as yet as the ball's been held up on Subiaco's half-forward line. Rucks go at it, Piscaneri there, running towards the ball, getting a high tackle there and going down quite severely. And Filicamo being tackled strongly there by Katrina Tinson. Just taking her time to get to her feet there. Head over the ball, courage by Filicamo. Pass in towards full forward. Almost a mark there from Tester. She puts it down. Pack forms, picked up at half back, handballed out. You still can't quite clear it. East Fremantle strongly tackled there. Was a player in Norwich. She goes down to ground, gets the benefit of the call from the umpire. Ball still up for grabs there. Picked up there by East Fremantle and handball back by Subi. String of handballs nicely out to Nashville. Nashville in towards centre half forward. Can't quite take the mark there. East Fremantle in defence. Swung around in the tackle, but they safely get it out there to O'Sullivan. Gabby O'Sullivan, a long kick out to the wing. One-on-one contest out there. Two players go for it. Subiaco swarm around that East Fremantle opponent. And there'll be a ball up right on centre wing.
Still a little messy at the moment. Just with two teams settling for the day.
Piscaneri gets the ruck knock. Grabbed there in a strong tackle. There was a player there, 17.
Both Leah Maskell. And Philippa Seth busy already in the first 3 minutes.
Up they go again, even ruck knock, all barging away through there with forearm outstretched was Gabby O'Sullivan. She doesn't mind a pack. Gabby, up goes Piscaneri, gets it down. Down towards Filicamo. She soccers it forward, only as far as player there for East Fremantle. It's brilliant. She taps it forward, picked up by Subi up towards centre half forward. Lewis is there, can't take it, picked up by Norwich. She hammers it back into the middle. O'Sullivan's there, but she's surrounded by three Subiaco players. Picked up here by Cowie. She knocks it forward again out towards half forward, and with strong pace out there goes Stubbs. Stubbs kicking, fortunately, right onto the chest there at full forward of her teammate there in Tester, Tani Tester, coming over from South Fremantle this year. But Clint, that kick just right on target. Not sure if she meant it.
Well, Tani Tester pretty clever forward, so taking the front position. As we get behind this kick, and I was just about to say Tani Tester, nice solid kick for goal. So
luckily I kept talking.
Mocked her without speaking.
She kicked the first one for them last week, so I was hoping she could get one again, but not so much.
So the ball comes out here for East Fremantle in Gillard. Gillard further up to half back on a lovely mark there. Intercepting there for Subiaco is Maskell.
Good ball into
Maskell, lovely pass into Devlin. So, yeah, she'd be kicking right from the 50-metre line. Tough kick from here, Em. She's looking for leads. Centres the ball nicely. Player coming out forward is Tester again, but the ball falls short. Philippa Seth just hacks it forward. East Fremantle under pressure in defence at the moment. Going in there hard for East Fremantle there is Rue. Wonderful game last week, and the pass comes out to O'Sullivan. She's been busy as well. And they're getting their running game going now. This is what East Fremantle like to do. Out on the far side goes Rue again with that white headband. What a sight as she comes dashing towards half forward. Already well inside 50 for East Fremantle. One-on-one contest. They've moved the ball quickly into the forward line. As the ball scoots out, but nice defence out to Filicamo. She's covering some ground too for Subiaco. Lovely handball there from Lim. And good run out of defence there by Rode. Passes it up to the wing. And there's a free kick. East Fremantle player. It's brilliant. She tackles her opponent, but umpire says illegally. So Beatrice Devlin goes back and across. A little bit dangerous, but safe enough. Filicamo seems to have recovered from that early head knock. Subi keeping possession here. Over to Claire Ortlep. Ortlep goes wider again. Caitlin Walker takes that. This kick a little bit messy. Subiaco mucking around a little bit in defence. Back to Claire Ortlep. This time a lovely pass. Right on the chest there of Maskell again. She's been busy as well. Oh, a miscue there. There's a turnover. And marked there by...
Looks like Gomesy.
Gomes. Gomes attempts the pass, but again in defence there's Maskell. Another possession for her. So East Fremantle can't quite find their targets at the moment, Em.
Yeah, they worked it quite well before, about a couple of minutes ago, but they just miscued it again. So hopefully they can keep controlling the ball and have some more quality kicks forward.
This time a string of handballs for East Fremantle. Comes out there to a player there who kicks it across to her teammate. There's a nice pass across to half forward. A lovely mark falling back. That's difficult to take. And number 17.
It's in the hands of O'Sullivan now. Kim Bowie's got a deep position on the ground.
Lovely kick from O'Sullivan to Bowie. She sockers it off the ground and through for the first goal of the game. Lovely kick from O'Sullivan to position, and Kimberly Bowie just keeping her feet and running onto that one and socking her through for the first goal. Eastman on 1 straight 6. Subiaco solitary behind.
He's managed to stretch the ground nice and long there, East Freo. Jono, Claremont. Subiaco had the game really pegged out with their wide positions and Maskell doing their intercepting, but Bowie was able to stretch with Sprillion and obviously O'Sullivan as well.
Yeah, it seems like Subi were a bit reactive, and East Freo used their advantage. They like to move the ball on quickly, use their run, and they took a great mark, wasted no time to get the ball onto O'Sullivan and in nice and deep into their forward line. Let Kim Dowie get the job done.
Nicely off the ground there too, Kimbo, usually in the ruck.
Up in the ruck they go. O'Sullivan there again, but pushed off the ball nicely. Shoveled out here by Subia by Harkin. Diving on the ball there is Piscaneri. Shovels it out. Only as far as Lim, and the ball all tied up in the middle. Throw up again in the middle. Up in the ruck this time was Rue, playing the ruck rover role. Socket forward by East Fremantle, getting plenty of momentum out of the middle. But that one kicked into a nest of Subiaco players. Rue goes in strongly, so does Tapner. Tapner tackles. Oh, there's a strong tackle there on Versace. Subiaco pressuring, but East Fremantle got the numbers. Up towards, and there's a kick here around the neck, I think, for the player disposing of the ball.
Little hand on Seth's shoulder from Stubbs. Sorry, that's Ashton Hill.
Ashton Hill.
Confused by the brunette ponytails.
Kicks up towards centre half forward. That kick not really finding a target. Player there, Filacamo is tackled. Sorry, Claire Ortlep. She gets it back. Handball. She's besieged by East Fremantle players. Or Versace taken strongly in a tackle from Ortlep. Good follow-up player from Claire. That was a vicious tackle.
Quality defender, Claire. Reads the ball really well.
Up in the ruck they go again. Ball on the deck. Lots of players surrounding the ball. There'll be another ball up. Right on the 50-metre line for East Fremantle. Start to get their running game going now. Numbers at the ball. Tapped it out wide. Player tackles strongly to the ground there. Play on, says the umpire. Picked up here by Lim. She gets the handball out, but only as far there as Versace. She gets that out to her teammate there, and Rue up towards centre half forward. Oh, but strong defence coming out nicely there for Subiaco. There was Marnie. She kicks it out onto the wing. Not much support out there for Subi, so the 2-on-2 contest. Picked up here for East Fremantle. And there's a free kick holding the ball. She held it too long.
Almost better just holding it in there and getting the ball on the ground and forcing the ball up.
So Ellie Blackmore being rewarded for that tackle on Alston. Harkin takes the mark, and a lovely pass in towards centre half forward. Taken here by Tester. She's very agile on that forward line. Puts it up high. Missing the mark there is Road over the back, but she recovers nicely, keeps her feet, kicks it up towards centre half forward, and a lovely mark. Might be Jai Syria there, is it?
Yep.
Again, the value of playing in front.
And having good hands. Silky skilled player, Jai Syria. Nickname of Magic.
Ball goes over the defender's head. Picked up here, strongly out to Seth. East Fremantle defence. 3 of them tackling that Subiaco player there. Coming out strongly there is Walker. She spills the mark. Ball comes out wider to Gomes. Gomes dives on it, and she's dived on in succession by Filacamo. So there'll be a ball up.
Roxanne Rue got a hand up for the ruck jump here.
Yeah, tough ask against Piscaneri. Missing out on height there a little bit. Out to Gomes again. She's under pressure, and the ball will go out of bounds.
Bo McDonald, the State 18's coach, has rocked up and said, "G'day, Roxanne," and then promptly nicknamed her Kanga. So can jump.
She disposed of the headband. That's a little bit disappointing.
No, it's still there.
Oh, still there, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't worn one of those for a number of years, but anyway.
Limited use for a headband these days.
Picked up here by Hill. She pumps it forward. There's an open forward line for East Fremantle, but going back safely is Claire Ortlep again.
Read that wonderfully there.
Crossing it into the middle. Lovely pass out there to Blackmore. Blackmore, lead up there by Tester. Oh, beautiful intercept mark there from Norrish. She pumps it forward to open forward. There's a race on here, 1-on-1. Bowie for East Fremantle. She pushes a player down, picks the ball up, Handball's out nicely. Oh, just slight miss there from Sprillian. Still tap forward for East Fremantle. They're keeping the ball alive. Back out to Sprillian. She dives. Can't get a foot to it. And what does the umpire say here? Yep, holding the ball. So good pressure from the Subi defence.
It's Rachel Ortlap in the initial contest and Claire to finish it off. So the Twins going really well in defence for Subiaco.
Plenty of space there in that East Fremantle forward line. Nice mark.
Maskell again.
There by Maskell. Pass out to a 1-on-3, so
professional fumble.
That's probably a good result. Oh, but the umpire's played deliberate, I think.
Of course, it was off the foot, wasn't it? So it's
Last
possession. Last touch, last possession.
Last possession, sorry.
So Kakamo in towards centre half forward. Handball comes out, but it goes to Felicamo. But in the way there's O'Sullivan. Oh, she sells the candy and back on the left foot. In towards full forward. The bounce evades that Subiaco defender, Rachel Ortlap. Socket off the ground. Bowie in there for East Fremantle. So is Tapner. They can't quite get her. They're outnumbered by that Subiaco defence. Kick comes out towards half back. Picked up here by Rue. She's trying to get around her opponent. Does it very, very skillfully. In towards space again for East Fremantle. Racing towards the ball here is a player there in Wong. Her kick smothered. Subiaco defence working overtime here. The ball comes out. Wong racing back. She's still inside 50. Picks the ball up and skillfully off the side of the boot looking for a captain, Seth. And overruns the ball. Harkin picks it up for Subi. Oh, great follow-up smother from Seth. Socket forward. East Fremantle apply a lot of pressure. And there's a free kick, I think, to Wong, maybe over the shoulder. No, that must have been off the ball.
Hayley O'Donnell, I think it was a little bump on the shoulder on the way through for Hayley. So, second game of footy for Hayley O'Donnell, part of the 18s group. Born and bred East Fremantle player.
O'Donnell into that danger territory. Oh, great saving mark there, back there for Subiaco. Claire Ortlap. She's playing some sort of game down there.
There must be two of them. They're everywhere.
It's some sort of kick too. Unfortunately, just fumbled.
Yeah, Maskell, beautiful kick to position, but just failed to grab that one above her head.
I reckon Maskell would have 6 marks, wouldn't she? Six marks to this date.
First
one she's fumbled.
Yeah.
Looking the goods in her first game back after AFLW season with Fremantle.
Up they go in the ruck. Ball comes down. Tapped, they can't quite take it. Picked up by Harkin off to Felicamo. Oh, barging through and taking a strong mark. Don't argue there, Katrina Tinson. She runs round on the mark. No opposition from Subiaco. A long, long kick. Will it bounce? Oh, just sticking out her hand there is Claire Ortlap. And fortunately, it bounces through for a point.
East Fremantle got the ground covered off beautifully here. It's going to take some charging and running here, Jono, to get this ball out.
Yeah, sure is. Subi have been stuck in that backward 50 there for a while, but they need to work it through, maybe hold on to the ball and not panic to try and get it out here.
So Felicamo takes the resultant kick in from Ortlap. Looking for options. They just can't get it out of this pressing zone here from East Fremantle. Seth backs this one up. And she gets it back inside 50. Picked up here by Lim. Handballs across to Felicamo off the side of the boot looking for Jamie Harkin. Strong one-on-one contest there with Lodge. Pump forward by Subi. There's a one-on-one contest here. Wong there on Rosengrave. Wong, using her pace nicely. Swivels around away from Rosengrave. Gets it towards the advantage there of Hill, but she can't quite pick it up. Seth is tackled strongly. Runs into a strong tackle. The umpire said held to her. But some Subiaco defence must be exhausted by now. Rue up in the ruck again. Seth barges through. Nicely intercepted by Lim. Pumps it forward. Up onto the wing. Can't quite take the mark there. Harkin reads it off nicely, the pack. Tries to evade a tackle from Hill. Can't quite do it. Still manages to get a left foot to it. Rosengrave racing out there with Wong. That's a great battle of two pacey players. And Rosengrave gets a very, very handy soccer forward. Abby Dowrick on her debut. Goes towards the ball. Taps it in front of her, but she's pushed off the ball nicely. Wong with a 1-2 with her teammate. Up into the wing, but it's all Subi. And Subi will pump it back into the half-forward line. That's Felicamo. Finds Piscaneri. Played a wonderful grand final last year's 2018. Runners up for Subiaco. Back to Felicamo. He's stagnant at the moment. They go forward. Oh, absolutely mauled in front. There was Harkin. So.
Looked to have the mark safely in her hands before she got the long chop. Still not much ahead, Dave.
Up forward.
Courtney Stubbs, who just floats in and takes a catch. And she's probably too far out to score. So there'll be a little bit of leading in here. There's Viney down there, Abby Darrick as well. You've seen Abby, Jay Saria too ahead of the footy.
So centres the ball up in a marking contest. In front almost there, Abby Darrick. Can't quite take the mark. Swiveled around here on her right foot and running back nicely. Takes a safe mark is Salkilled. So she punches it out to Roxanne Rue. Oh, brilliant mark above her head. Nice contested mark there in front of Road. 3 goals last week, Roxanne Rue. Out to Kakamo. Kakamo now a little skewed off the side of the boot. That means that a player there in Subi can come in. Ash Cowie can take the mark on her chest. Centering ball. Running back the same way as the ball was Road, but she couldn't quite take the mark as Wong intercepts. Wong doing a lot of work. She's playing up the forward line, but helping her defence out. Over there to Dan. Dan the handball back to Kakamo. Kakamo up towards half forward now for East Fremantle. Working hard there is brilliant. Oh, Versace takes it. She's strongly tackled. Ball comes back there. Got a head over the ball as usual. O'Sullivan goes in strongly. Tackles Filacamo. Handball comes out here for East Fremantle. In Gomes. Subiaco pick it up. It's a tough passage of play in there at the moment. There could be a free kick here. Dangerous tackle, I think, to Road.
5 seconds to play.
Road up towards half forward. Can't quite take the mark as Jai Surya. Brilliant paces, Rue, reading it nicely. Lovely handball. Gives the advantage to Katie and Lodge. Lodge, oh, look at this space over here. Player there in Catherine Dan, but there's plenty of Subiaco defenders back there. And there is the quarter-time siren as Caitlin Walker takes a safe mark. So a low scoring, but a tight contest. And East Fremantle lead the contest. 1 goal, 1-7. Lead Subiaco the solitary point, and the goal scorer in the game is Kimberly Bowie. Well, Clint, East Fremantle a little slow to get started, but certainly dominated possession in that last half of the quarter.
They did. They set up really well behind the ball, trapped the ball inside the forward half. I think Subi did much the same in the first part of the quarter. Neither side really capitalised on their time in their forward half. Probably just the feel of the game as we're starting, Jono.
Yeah, there's not they're a bit stagnant as well as Subi look up the field. Just there's not much in terms of leading or half leads. So we'd like to see a bit more of that. Committing to the leads and really getting up the ground, heading to the foot, kick to the foot, lead to the foot, and hopefully we can see them string together a few marks in the second quarter.
All right, and don't forget, we're streaming live on www.wafl.com.au and also on the WAFL Facebook page. Don't forget to tell your friends to share it if they want to watch this live action today, Subiaco and East Fremantle, with the state game just about finished here. So we'll be back at Leadable Oval in a couple of minutes' time to wrap up this first quarter. Ball.
Don't you diddle, don't you daddle, you better skedaddle. You need to run for your life. Well, like Virginia Creeper, well, didn't want to keep her just maybe for a while. You're the lady in a hoodie. Well, I feel that day.
Nature knows it's better to be part of a group than out on your own. To be surrounded by others whose sole purpose is to keep you safe and well. At Bupa, we call it Members First. A network of thousands of healthcare providers, all there for you. Search Bupa Members First.
Yeah, incredibly exciting. It's obviously a new chapter in my career, in my football career, but I'm incredibly excited to be here and a part of this football club. And I've been really impressed by the professionalism, the level of respect that they've treated me through this process, and I guess the core values that the club have. The product that we're producing now for AFLW has really grown over 3 years, but the next 3 to 5 years is going to be incredible, and some really talented girls coming through, and I can't wait to actually work alongside them. And I felt like I'd be a part of the family here.
If you need it live streamed, you need Front Row Screens. Visit frontrowscreens.com.au.
Welcome back to Leadable Oval. You're with David Clear, Clint Degebrot and Emily Johnson covering this big clash. Grand final replay from 2018, Subiaco and East Fremantle. So the live stream will be happening every week of the season. Every team plays 15 games with 3 buys. So, 15 rounds. They play each other 3 times. And this will be certainly the first of 3 wonderful clashes between these 2 very evenly matched teams. And of course the grand final will be televised live on the 7 network at the end of the season. 5 teams this year: East Fremantle, Claremont, Peel, Thunder, Subi and Swans, and South Fremantle a provisional licence coming in at 2020. Well, 2 good games last week, Clint, and we're seeing the 2 victors from last week battle it out.
No, the games were good last week. I got to see the Swans and Subiaco game. Subiaco played a pretty complete game across the board. Particularly in the first half, did run out of steam towards the end of the game. Swans weren't quite good enough to put the score on the board to catch them. They gave them too much of a lead. Today, talking about today's game though, Claire Ortland, fantastic start to the game. Liam Askell and Lara Felicamo for Subiaco certainly got them up and about. Whereas I think East Fremantle were a bit more balanced across the board. Versace started well, but it was Rue, I thought, Seth and Sullivan that sort of ascended their dominance towards the end of the quarter.
Yeah, started winning it in the middle, and we saw that with the ball locked in their forward line for a good 5 to 7 minutes there, but just couldn't get a score from it. It was deep in their forward line, but Subi defenders held strong. That Ortlock effect again, holding them up there, and yeah, so low scoring affair, but hopefully we can see a bit more from both this week. Last week, the Subi midfield really dominated against Swan, so it should be a good battle between these 2 midfield groups.
Midfield group dominated against Peel after half time as well.
Yeah.
Both teams playing full forwards deep. Otherwise, trying to play in a 4T setup, it looks, and then trying to control the box as much as possible.
It's interesting comparing the 2 game styles, Clint and Emily, but East Fremantle, when they get it forward, they like to create space, get it over the back in the forward line. The likes of Wong, who's got the pace, and Bowie, who ran onto that ball with soccer to really create space. Subi have been a bit more stop-start and looking for lead-up players and looking for those leads and sort of deliberate shots for goals. It's quite a contrast in styles at the moment.
It looks, I think you described it well. I mean, John will pick it up. East Fremantle want to kick it in and chase it in, and it looked like Subi wanted to slow down and get numbers in front of the footy.
Yeah.
So they got that 5-pack forward of the ball, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then they all sort of grouped up, Abby Derrick and Joe Saria, and they came at it and created that contest. So prepared to scrap a goal, perhaps, Subi?
Yeah, and I think that they scored a number of their goals last week from scrapping. They didn't necessarily have those lead-ups, but when they do, it's a real standout. Like Courtney Stubbs let out quite hard, took a few marks, just a bit too shallow on the entry. It'd be nice to see them get that lead, starting deeper in their forward line and catching it 30 metres out.
You're right there too, because Testa got one quite high.
Yeah.
Jay Saria got one high, and Stubbs got one high too. So maybe a deeper entry for Subiaco in this quarter.
And East Freo as well, wanting to use the space. There's obviously 16 players on the field, so 1 less in the back and 1 less in the forward. So trying to take advantage of that space, get it in quick, and hopefully use the pace of Wong or Sullivan to get on the back of that.
Seth,
and
Rue.
as they didn't get their first goal, it was a soccer goal over the back. It's worked for them so far.
Quarters, 18 minutes of duration.
Sometimes they get out as deep as 18:27.
They do, yes. We're on a bit of a different time zone, I think, here at Leadable Oval this afternoon. 27 seconds out. Anyway, I could do with an extra bit of time in my day, actually. Might come here more often.
Just the 27 seconds required, you reckon?
All that little bit of extra sleep might help. 21 players aside, 16 on the field at any one time, so plenty of space out there. We're ready to go in the second quarter. Just 1 goal in it and a very low-scoring contest. But we saw last week, 8 or 9 goals is a good winning score in this competition. All right, up in the middle, Piscaneri up against Bowie. Piscaneri knocked it forward. Felicamo though, but brilliantly done on the skill there is Wong. Handballs it out. She's got lots of pace there. Starting on a wing, and she backs it up, shovels it forward beautifully into the path here of a player who's strongly tackled, but they still managed to scramble the kick forward. Coming out there is Ortlep, gets the handball across, looking for Piscaneri. The ball evades her. Picked up here for East Fremantle. Oh, but Jaya Syria intercepts. She kicks it up towards centre half forward. Abby Darrick almost takes the mark, but wheels it in one-handed, very skillfully. The 16-year-old kick is smothered. There's a chance here for Subi. Tester picks it up, has a shot on goal. She's by herself and just away to the right for a minor score. So golden opportunity there for Subi, but they're 2 points trail East Fremantle, 1-1-7.
Positive entry, and it's great to see Abby jumping at the footy, Abby Darrick jumping at the ball there too, but also Tony Tester being able to swoop on that's very nice. Encouraging, I think, for Sarah Michelle, who's coaching the Subiaco side today.
This ball falls straight into the lap of Road. So Road, chance to set up here, pump it back inside 50.
Road's fairest and best player in the state netball league competition.
Right. And a nice boot on it, puts it up towards full forward. Pack fly, no one can take the mark. Oh, bursting through is Wong with pace. She's dynamite and put her head straight over the ball, handballs it out towards the boundary line. Subi got plenty of numbers. Abby Darrick just shovels it out, leaves it for a teammate in Stubbs. Stubbs in towards a teammate. Oh, in towards centering ball. Strongly going in there for Subi was Cowie, but intercept mark there for East Fremantle.
For
Versace. Bowie over the ball. Nice agility for a very tall player. Gets the handball out to a teammate. Bumped it up to the wing. Looking here for player there in Dan. She keeps it in front of her. Subiaco player picks it up. Strongly tackled to the ground by Bowie. She's going nowhere.
So Dan's found her way to East Fremantle via Broome.
Okay.
Talented player from Kimberley. Dan.
Filicamo over the ball. Lots of players on top of her. Yeah, there's quite a few of the Dan family up there. A few Dans in Perth as well. Bowie knocks it down. Into the path here of Dan again. She's strongly tackled, trying to desperately get rid of it. Umpire says give it to me. So strong work in the packs from both sides. This time no ruck gets their hand to the ball. Ball on the ground. Jai Syria over the top of the ball. She's tackled. Umpire says give it to me.
Good players around this ball too. You can see Lyndall Road has talked about her netball skills. I think we're going to be starting to talk about her fairest and best footy ability shortly. It'll be very impressive in the first 2 games.
Tinson picks it up, slung to the ground there. Another strong tackle. No room for the faint-hearted out there. Piscaneri up again, takes it one-handed. She may have been held in that run contest by Bowie. She was. Quickly gets it forward. Subi players looking for the lead. Lewis is there, but Wong grabs it. She's tackled by Darrick. Umpire says too high. Oh, she's straight off. Nobody knew she went. Snuck out the back door there. Rue in front, almost takes the mark. And great recovery, very quick. Knocks into the path of Tinson. Picked up here by Versace. Back to Tinson nicely. Up towards half forward. Not many East Fremantle numbers there. Jai Syria coming back from half forward. Oh, lovely smother there from a player there in Hill. She's tackled, but Subi get the kick forward. Running back the same way as the ball there is O'Donnell. She can't quite take the mark. Players over the ball again. Another ball up. So again, both sides struggling to find space.
Bit scrappy here to start this quarter. Hopefully it opens up soon and one team can kind of control the footy a bit more and see if we can get some clean possession.
Tinson picked up by Filicamo. Over to Stubbs. She's beset upon by East Fremantle defenders. Oh, racing on the way with the ball. Great pace over there. It was Seth looking for a teammate. Can't quite pinpoint that pass. And it goes out of bounds. Hill can't quite reach it. And again, that rule last touched.
Last possession?
Last possession, yeah.
Last possession. Last touch confuses everybody because the umps start paying a little accidental roll over.
Syria runs round. Sets the task for a Subiaco. Oh, Abby Darrick over the back of the pack. She's got the run of the ball. Shot on goal. A little away to the left, but I think it's all right. That's her first goal in her debut match. And her teammates will be absolutely delighted with that. But a great recovery over the back of the pack. Running onto that ball. The first goal for Subiaco, the 16-year-old. Subi hit the lead. 1-2-8. Lead East Fremantle 1-1-7.
She's just been willing herself into the contest, hasn't she? Last couple of tackles and tried to burst through just before. Yeah,
she had a quiet first quarter and threw her body around a bit, but a couple of tackles to start this one, and then obviously a nice clean pickup and a beautiful shot for a goal.
And what we were talking about before the quarter started is Subi pegged East Fremantle in there in defensive 50, just like East Fremantle had done to them previously in the previous quarter. So same tactic employed by both sides.
Up in the middle again. Punch forward by Pescaneri. Gains a good 20 metres for Subiaco. Filacamo chasing that ball. Coming up to meet it is Stubbs. She's strongly tackled by two East Fremantle players. And there'll be a ball up. But strong work in the ruck there, Clint.
Yeah, no, actually they've got some big guns in on the ball at the moment, both sides. So there should be some. There's probably why we've got so many draws. I'm going to get another one.
Socket forward by Filacamo. Coming out in defence there. East Fremantle get the nice handball out to Hill. Hill almost hits the umpire with her kick. Coming out in front there is Gomes. She's tackled strongly. Subi got the numbers. Out towards Road again. She shovels it forward, but in defence is Seth. Seth gets it forward towards Alston, but nice recovery there. Great work for Subiaco there by Marnie. She pumps it inside 50. Abby Darrick over the top. Picked up by Norris for East Fremantle. Handballs back, but Subi got plenty of numbers there. Darrick picks it up. Handballs to Road. Darrick back on it again. And players on top of her. So, the Subiaco attack is certainly applying a lot more pressure this quarter.
Yeah, I think they're just playing the ball forward. We saw the East Fremantle player trying to have a run and then got chased down. I think she just needed to move the ball on a bit quicker. But Subi are doing it really well, putting it to advantage and running onto it.
So Harkin gets the ball into space. Tester the first there to pick it up. Puts it in towards full forward. Almost contested mark, but a wonderful mark by Rue. Gosh, coming in from the side of the pack. What an athlete. And a beautiful pass to boot onto a captain's chest in Philippa Seth. Seth looking for O'Sullivan, but it falls short. Straight into the arms of Marnie. Marnie, nice little short pass. Finds Road. So Road now looking for the lead. She's just going to pump it forward, I think. Well, the kick's just skewed off a little towards the side of the Bert Ashton Hill there. Courtney Stubbs beats it to it. Lovely one grab pick it up in towards full forward. East Fremantle got plenty of numbers there, and Norris, well done, just knocks it to her own advantage and gets the pass away. And securely out of defence go East Fremantle. Looking for a player out there in Gillard. She races onto it. There's a one-on-one contest out there. Oh, she's gained a good 60 metres here, but Claire Ortlep was persistent, chased her, and now Ortlep's tackled. Gets it onto a boot, but only as far as Dan.
It's set up for East Freo's spring load here, but it's been intercepted by Piscaneri. Just started to see the inklings of that slingshot arrow in the goal for East Freo, but Piscaneri in the way.
Piscaneri looking for Lewis. Oh, beautifully weighted kick. She runs on straight onto that one. In between two East Fremantle players. On the left goes Lewis. Looking for Abby Darrick. Well spot by Norris. Out towards the boundary line. Norris dives on it. And they tug of war there between those two when it goes out of bounds. So Darrick providing a bit of a target. This quarter?
Yeah, unlikely. I think what she does at ground level is really vital, and we saw that with her goal, but that pressure that she can apply, and I think that makes her a good target. If the ball spills down and it's in her area, she's probably going to pick it up and do something with it.
So East Fremantle on the defensive side of the ball here. They'll need to get the ruck knock, but it goes forward. So Subi pick it up in Stubbs. Careers onto that right. She's very handy up there in the forward line. Bit of a luxury, really, rather than having her on the ball. Knocked out of bounds by Norris. Subiaco players calling for deliberate. Having none of it. Here's the umpire. Under the eastern bank here at Leederville Oval. Rue athletically over the top. Player tackled here was Seth, and holding the ball, a brilliant tackle there for Subiaco by Devlin. Devlin now races away from the mark. High kick up towards full forward. Almost a mark there up there to Stubbs. But brilliant work by Hill. She taps it back into the pack dangerously. Ball on the ground. Contest to be won. Picked up here for Subi. Strong tackle to the ground.
Darrick.
Pushing the back free kick there to Abby Darrick.
So Darrick getting the reward for putting her head over the ball. And strongly tackled to the ground. And she'll have a shot from about 20 metres out on a slight angle.
Not just over the ball either, was powering her legs trying to push through at the same time. So put extra pressure on the tackler. Eventually carried her into the ground.
So we're right behind this kick. Yeah, lovely kick right through the middle. She's got all of Subiaco's goals. Abby Darrick this quarter. 2-2-14 Subiaco lead East Fremantle 1-1-7. So persistence there for putting her head over the ball. But gosh, she's had a bit of a different second quarter, Clint.
She certainly has. It's great to see her up, Sarah Michelle, pulling her up out of the Rogers Cup team from last week and sticking her deep forward, having an instant impact too. So congratulations to the Subiaco Footy Club for having the courage to put a 16-year-old in the front post and being rewarded now for what they know she can do.
And East Fremantle struggling to get the inside 50s this quarter.
Yeah, they just haven't had much of the. They haven't had any inside 50s this quarter, and really haven't had much of the ball in their forward half. They're just being outgunned, I think, in the middle. Just need to be harder at it and get the ball moving forward.
Ruse into the ruck. Katrina Tinson looks the go-to.
Sarah Lewis in the ruck. Oh, lovely knock from Rue. Road backing up nicely. Good positional play. Gets the pass out. Tries to find Rosengrave, but it only goes as far out here to Kakamo. She teams well with Rue. Well, she contested for the ruck, and now she's out in the wing getting a possession. She's having some sort of game herself. Up towards Brilliant. She can't quite take the mark. She's tackled strongly, but still manages to get the handball out. A nice pass to Versace. She's got 10 metres clear. Ball doesn't quite carry to her. Handball goes back out in towards Dan. Dan runs onto it nicely, runs around an opponent. Does the banana kick. Did that go through just to the right of the post? Minor score for East Fremantle. So 1-2-8. Subi 2-2-14.
Blistering fast entry. East Fremantle style.
Much better from the first half of this quarter.
So tough kick for Rhodes. She's got two opponents to beat. So nicely handball there from Tinson onto Seth, and they got plenty of numbers on their own. And it's brilliant, takes the mark.
Wong's use of hands has been impressive so far this quarter. That was another good example. Nice little 5-metre shovel.
Yeah, and she's using her pace really well as well. It's a great advantage that she has. She's not a huge player, but definitely uses her pace very well.
So centering ball into Rue. Why wouldn't you? 1-on-1, another contested mark to Roxanne Rue. And a good kick to position. Sprillion didn't realise she couldn't make the distance. And so Rue will have a shot from about 35 metres out directly in front.
Didn't leave her much space, did they? But she used it. Used every centre. And Rachel Ortlet closed it down quickly. She was good enough to hold it. And solid shot for goal, Roxy, particularly from a set shot.
Bit of a stutter in. Kicks it high and straight. Goal umpire does not move. So a brilliant mark and goal from Roxanne Rue, the 17-year-old. 2-2-14 apiece here at Leederville Oval. It's all tied up. Clint said we might get a draw today. Well, we're on target.
Plenty to play yet. But great response from East Fremantle, punching the ball forward in the ruck and then really working and getting it in quick, and then using those lead-up forwards, and no doubt in that kick from Roxanne Rue.
Oh, fantastic. The way the East Fremantle too just lowered their eyes across the ground and connected, found the free, nice and patient, but still used the space. Brilliant. Just took her time to get the right option. She knew she was too far out to score, and Roxy just drifted into the little hole.
Gosh, she's strong above her head, isn't she? That mark she took in defence earlier, fantastic grab.
What is it called? A one-wood. It's a feature of her game. The jump's not bad either, as we saw.
Up in the ruck they go. Piscaneri back onto the ground. Rue does well. We're in the ruck knock. Socket out of the middle though by Piscaneri, and she tries to follow up her work. The race is on. Look at the speedster Wong. Will she get there first? She allows her teammate and applies to Shepherd nicely. Picked up here for East Fremantle nicely by O'Donnell. Kick goes up forward, but in the way there for Subi is Marnie. Marnie in towards Road. Running towards the ball. Sorts it out with Devlin. Keeps it in front of her. Sorry, that's Rosengrave. Keeps it in front of her. And there's Stacks on the middle out here on the wing. It'll be a ball up.
Two really good setups forward of the ball.
Versace runs onto it. Oh, she's powered into the back by Felicamo, but... Oh, and holding the ball. Well, Versace perhaps a little unlucky there, but Felicamo not letting her get the ball out. Beautiful pass up to Harkin, coming out from half forward. Takes it nicely in front of her face. Oh, that kick, not the best. But East Fremantle can't quite take the mark. Abby Dowrick swoops on that one again. Over towards Blackmore. Oh, the handball comes out nicely. Running towards ball is Beatrice Devlin. She fires on goal. There it goes. Great handball from Tester, and they celebrate those two. Great run there from Devlin. She powered towards goals, and the third goes on the ball for Subiaco. 3-2-20. Lead East Fremantle 2-2-14. And the game opening up a bit now.
Yeah, certainly. I think a little bit of fatigue starting to set in, and obviously the teams are settling into the game a bit more. But that was really good combination. Again, bowling quick, and Beatrice Devlin running on. Great hands from Tani Tester, and Beatrice Devlin had a great game. A great game last week. So it's good to see her again backing up that performance.
Game's a little place out there by Filakama too, demanded Harkin to come with the ball.
Yeah.
And then she got everyone organised in terms of that overlap. B. Devlin doing the job. Good finishing skills, Beatrice Devlin.
Yeah, she does have very good skills, and she's got a big engine as well, big tank, so she doesn't tire easily, so she can continue those skills throughout the game.
Gets that one out of the middle.
Rebecca Viney on
Viney.
debut. That might be her first touch.
Gets the handball out to Filakamo. She's been busy in the middle. Abby puts it out in front of Darrick. Darrick runs on again, pulls it in one-handed. And there's a player tackled. I'm not sure if she had the ball. Anyway, she gets a free kick for pushing the back. There's Melissa Lim. Players demanding the ball up there forward for Subiaco. Puts it in front of Stubbs. Takes a strong mark out in front of her face. Well, put out in front of her.
Sort of a half lead there, and the kicker just spotted her and put it in front of her and into the right spot. So a bit lucky there, but Sharks probably need to wake up to that one.
It was perfect technique, wasn't it?
For Stubbs.
Yeah.
Kick probably just right on her distance limit. She goes over the pack, and the umpire says that's pretty good. That's the 4th goal for the quarter for the Lions. 4-2-26. A great lead-up mark for Stubbs, and she puts it through for her first. Subiaco's 4th. They're now got a lead of 12 points.
She's made the right body shape, jumped at the ball.
Yep.
Protected the
drop
area,
zone, yep.
Got it in front of the face, and then the kicking technique was equal as well. Just ran straight at the goals and kicked it straight through. I was with Dave. Thought she was a little far out. Got it easily in the end, and with sort of we think what could be at least 30 seconds left to play at 17:30, might be the score at half time. One more chance to score for either side, you'd think.
So Seth now positioning herself back in defence, the captain. She's on Viney. Rue towers above Piscaneri there, but Filakamo reads the ruck knock nicely. Straight out this time to Rosengrave. Rosengrave shovels it forward, almost onto the chest of Viney. She can't quite pick it up. Handballs. Versace intercepts, and she's tackled straight away. And there'll be a ball up.
As we again tick past 18 minutes.
Well, a wonderful quarter of football from Subiaco. They kicked 4 goals, 1. And East Fremantle kicked 1 goal, 1 with limited inside 50 entries. So the score at half-time here in the WAFLW game, 4-2-26. Subiaco lead East Fremantle 2 goals, 2-14. And at the moment, it's reversed the result from last year's grand final, which was a wonderful game of football for those that remember it. 5-point victory to East Fremantle. The goal scorers today for Subiaco, Abby Darrick has 2, both that quarter. Courtney Stubbs 1. Beatrice Devlin 1, and for East Fremantle, Roxanne Rue, wonderful mark and goal that quarter, and Kimberly Bauer, the soccer, in the first quarter. Well, certainly turned around that quarter, Clint and Emily.
Yeah, rain goals. 4 goals in a quarter to one side of female football in the past would have been almost a miracle in days gone by.
Yeah, not anymore. A big step up in the competition this year. Obviously, starting to get girls that have played football with an uninterrupted pathway. They didn't have to quit when they were 14 and go and play other sports. So it's starting to show, and I guess, Clint, you're enjoying the football a lot this year.
I very much am. I'm getting out to games each week in my role with the Footy Commission, and the quality of the games of footy has gone up, and this one's no 5 goals in a quarter is amazing. Scary thing is for Subiaco is the way, as well as they're playing. They did fade last week, but this is without Miller or Hooker. So that's a couple of big ends. I know there's a few to come into East Fremantle, but to be playing this well this time of the year is probably a little surprise Subiaco's list. So Sarah Michelle's, hats off to her and her coaching team, because she's got these guys playing really, really well.
What was the difference that quarter to the first quarter, Em, do you think? What did Subiaco do differently?
I think they attacked the ball harder. They got the ascendancy in the midfield, and when they got it in their forward line, it wasn't a shallow entry. It was deep, and it was over the back. We saw a run on goal, and it's they used the space really well.
And Clint, this competition, would you say now it completes the pathway for females right from when they first started Auskick right through to AFLW?
Yeah, in the last year we've got a program, Metro Development Squads as well, which picks the 15, 16, 17-year-olds up out of the competitions around and the different competitions around the state, so that puts them, gives everyone a chance to get into that state academy, which then gets them into their clubs, and we've seen that be terrific for both our state 18 squad and getting our talented clubs like Rebecca Viney here out of the amateurs. Harley O'Donnell making the big jump from sort of Rogers Cup to league footy inside one season. So the pathway is complete, and the best part of it is that all the girls have got something now they can achieve, and the demands of this competition are going to become greater and greater, which means we demand greater preparation, which is great for our players.
We've seen some wonderful athletes coming through. The teenagers running around out there today. Abby Dowrick, making a debut, 2 goals already. Okay, Roxanne Rue, etc. So looking forward to that and more in the second half. Cross now for ads. We'll be back for the third quarter in about 7 or 8 minutes' time.
It's great to be back in the West. I've obviously been over in Sydney for a couple of years, and to be home in the nice weather and even better in the blue and gold is fantastic. Yeah, I was an inaugural part of the Giants squad in the first year, so been over there for the last 3 years and I guess experienced what it's like to be part of a new team and building something from the ground. So we've got time now, we're in the competition, we can build towards something really special, and I think that comes off the back of the first couple of years and just creating somewhere that everyone wants to be and play some good footy.
Nature knows it's better to be part of a group than out on your own. To be surrounded by others whose sole purpose is to keep you safe and well. At Bupa, we call it Members First. A network of thousands of healthcare providers, all there for you. Search Bupa Members First.
If you need it live streamed, you need Front Row Screens. Visit frontrowscreens.com.au.
It's a high ball. Don't you diddle, don't you daddle, you better skedaddle. You need to run for your life. Well, like Virginia Creeper, we didn't want to keep her, just maybe for a while. You're lately.
And welcome back to Leadable Oval at the half-time break here with Subiaco holding a very handy 12-point lead against East Fremantle. Beautiful day out here and on this Mother's Day afternoon. We're now going to show you an interview with Adrian Barrich, and then we'll be back with the second half of action.
When they called me up and said, it's your turn, Barra, I was just over the moon.
So while we chose Barra for legend status this year, we've always done a legend from the 60s, 70s, and then always tried to incorporate a player from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. And I think a lot of people forget that Barra back then was a pretty popular player, but he's also a very good player. Played 150 games of WAFL and at least 40-odd games for the West Coast Eagles at the time where they were still developing their squad.
Well, it's quite an emotional moment for myself to tell my family, but perhaps didn't get quite the reaction I expected because most of them, well, particularly my kids, haven't really seen me play, so they were a bit surprised that I was being recognised as a legend on the ball. I don't tend to talk about my footy career that much. And I think sport's a great panacea for the community. It brings people together, it keeps families together, it's things that dads can do with their kids, that mums can do with their kids. You know, I would encourage all young people to get out there and stay healthy, have a kick and have fun. At the end of the day, it's all about having fun. Having been an AFL player and a WAFL player, it's the natural fit to sort of help coach my son's team. For me, that's the way that I want to contribute, and I think helping young people perhaps tread that path that you went down, and maybe one day play WAFL, if not AFL. If I can help them out, I will. So it's very worthwhile and very satisfying to do that. And then playing in these, I guess, celebrity games as an old Eagle, it gives you a reason also to stay fit and go to the gym and lead a healthy lifestyle. And also, my kids are quite young, so I really want to be there for them across the journey and have a body that is able to do things with them and go camping and go windsurfing and go surfing and play footy, play cricket, coach the team. So staying fit is very important. I've been with Bupa for many, many years, well over a decade now. I'm very happy to be with Bupa and very thankful for their support.
And welcome back to Leadable Oval. And we're about to commence the second half of action. We're in the halftime break here. A few players that are having a rest today and a few spectators having a bit of a kick on the oval here. Why wouldn't you? David Clear here, and joining me today, Clint Degerbrocht and Emily Johnson. The score, Subiaco 4-2-26, East Fremantle 2-2-14. So, Clint, in your role at the Football Commission, and have you noticed a difference already? I mean, this new format with 5 teams compared to last year with the WAFL format, or the WAFL format, if you like. Have you noticed a difference so far this year?
Oh, absolutely. So I think Jono was talking about it before, both on and off air, in terms of with the 5 sides, it allows you to pick the best players in the competition. And we talked before the game about the West Perth not having a league side and their players being permitted out. So 2 of their best players from West Perth are playing in this game today, with Ashton Hill playing for East Fremantle.
And Christian Jayasuriya.
Christian Jayasuriya playing for Subiaco. So it's great to see the way that they've disseminated that group of talent from West Perth. Probably 8 players playing through the list. Dan McMahon, of course, listed to play with East Fremantle as well, just on her way back from a knee. Another fantastic talent. So I think what we've seen with the 16 on, and the reduced lists and the reduced sides, is the best players are playing in the top competition, and players aren't, clubs aren't searching their lists to get deep into their reserves list to get them out on the track.
And they are on a permit type, so they do belong to their home club. So the expectation would be that when South Fremantle get their team in next year, Beatrice Devlin and Tani Tester would make their way back to that club. So they're not coming in having to rebuild from nothing. They've got some players that have had some experience at this level of competition.
There'd be some exemptions too there, I'd imagine, that are built in through Luke Sanders and his team to ensure a bit of balance and fairness for South Fremantle if they do get their upgrading their licence in 2020 as expected. So
is there a long-term plan for the optimum number of teams in this competition?
Yeah, we don't know what that is. So ideally you have 9. Because you want all your WAFL clubs represented, because you want it to be a WAFL team.
So the Commission just wants the clubs to be ready.
Yeah, so we don't. It's the number one thing when we started this project, which was probably 3 years ago, was we need to have a fair and balanced competition. And when one side's getting 125 points and the other side's getting 0, that can't happen. So we can't grow too quickly because we can't go back to those days where we've got the haves and the have-nots. So as Jono wisely says it, as these players are coming through that have played their whole life, there's going to be more quality players. When there's more players, then there's going to be more quality players. And as we do, we think we could probably grow reasonably quickly, as long as our numbers at the bottom keep growing, and as long as our clubs keep bringing on the talent like they are.
Football Commission have taken over the administration of this competition, but I suppose, it does create a little bit of an extra era of professionalism, but what it does mean is that it brings the clubs, it draws them into that era of professionalism as well. So all the rules about submitting team lists and all those expectations, they have to sort of keep up with that.
They do, and the Footy Commission's got to be really careful to support the clubs in that transition, because they've been the sole source of the survival of female football in WA for a long, long time. Yeah, so it's a matter of it's a matter of just matching all those things together. So I think we're going to get some graphics up here we can speak to sort of have a little look at sort of how it sums up here. But
yeah, just after the first round, and we see nice wins there for East Fremantle and Subiaco. Around about 50 points. Subiaco 26 at the moment, so they're probably on par at the moment for a winning total. But Swan Districts and Peel Thunder, who, you know, these were the top 4 teams really last year, weren't they? The stronger sides. But it was interesting that first round last week, and Subiaco and East Fremantle, well, the winners tonight. They'll be the only undefeated team in the competition.
And, of course, Claremont in action today against the Swans.
Well, they might be the other one if they win today, obviously, against Swans.
And Swannies have got a stronger team in, and they've got their coach back from Hawaii. So that'll help them just settle into this game. Round 1 last week, of course, Cara Donnellan in Hawaii for round 1. Preordained holiday. You can see the reserves results up
well
there
and
too.
truly relaxed.
East Perth defeated by the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, Peel, very strong club. And Claremont, well, your old side there, Em. Just a pretty tense game against the Perth Angels. 15-13, a wonderful result for them. A draw between East Fremantle and West Perth, so a great game there at East Fremantle Oval. And then Subiaco, narrow victory in the reserves against Swan Districts.
You can see the disparity there between the two clubs there. That's what we want to get out of our league competition. That was the primary focus of the group as they developed the WAFLW concept.
And the Rogers Cup, under 18s, Clint, again this year?
It is, yep. And this is last night. It was Subiaco defeating Swan Districts. And today, Peel defeated East Perth. Last night, Peel defeated East Perth. Today, it was the Claremont defeating the Angels. No, that was last week.
Last week, yeah.
I'm talking about last week here. So this is last week's results, not this morning's results. Claremont gave the Perth Angels a bit of a shake last week, and East Fremantle got up over West Perth. And watched East Fremantle in the Rogers Cup this morning, named for Sharma Rogers, of course, life member of the competition. And great that she's got that competition named after her. They were terrific this morning, East Fremantle against Claremont at home, at Claremont's home.
So the Subiaco...
Probably answering a question a little further, which was about 6 questions ago, Cleary, was this competition, so last week on the debut of the competition, 21 of the 34 available 18 squad members played league footy.
Okay, brilliant.
So today, with the Peel girls not playing, but would have been selected, we've got 3 additions to that list with Rebecca Viney today and Kate Inglis-Hodge for East Fremantle. So we'll have 23 of the 34 available players having played league football on the way into an 18s carnival, which has never happened before.
Yeah, okay. So the clubs are obviously providing some more opportunities for those younger players now?
The clubs are the primary place to develop talent. Yeah. They've been doing it really well for a long, long period of time. We've tried as much as we can to value add to that, and we've never been in a better position with our clubs now that we're sharing in the ongoing development of our young players rather than any one person trying to own that player. So the players are benefiting immensely. So you can see Abby Darrick, quarter 1 a bit off the pace, quarter 2 really immersed in it. That's just hats off to Subiaco for bringing a young person on, both for the benefit of the club and for the benefit of the State 18s program, but most of all for the benefit of the player, the individual.
And not only players getting the opportunity, Sarah Michelle, coach taking over the coaching this year of Subiaco. Do you know much about her background?
Sarah invented a club called the Coastal Titans that I think won the first 4 premierships they went for. She's been a pioneer of female football with Nikki Harwood, Steph Walding, her partner Martine Pierman, Michelle Cowan. They're the powerhouses of women in WA footy. And it's just great to see that the club that she invented and grew and built and got to Subiaco Footy Club, that she's the inaugural WAFLW coach too. I think it's great poetry and well deserved. It's also fantastic that playing against her today, Nikki Harwood, they would have played against each other. They've coached against each other for 105 years. They're both decorated heroes of building this game for and on behalf of the females in WA, and it's fantastic that they're coaching their respective league clubs today. Immensely knowledgeable and very educational coaches. So particularly impressed the way Sarah's got her team going. I think Webbo proved last year her credentials, and very quickly Sarah Michelle stamped her game style and authority on this team. It should be an exciting second half. Would you expect East Fremantle to kick up from here?
So we're about to get underway Big second quarter from the Lions after having a goalless first quarter. Piscaneri leading the ruck again up against Kimberly Bowie. Here we go. 18-minute third quarter. Not much breeze to speak of out there. So Piscaneri up in the ruck. She knocks it backwards towards Filacamo. Oh, she only gets the head ripped off. She gets a free kick. Strong tackle by Versace. So Subiaco players spreading quickly. Filacamo dodges round Versace. Oh, she didn't see that player coming in from the side in Tapner, but still manages to get the handball off. Up towards half forward. Jai Syria overruns it. Well backed up there by Stubbs, though. Back to Jai Syria. Kicks it in towards centre half forward. Lewis keeps her feet well. Enables her to swing across on her favourite left foot. Up towards half forward. There's a player there in Tester. She shovels the ball on. Player tackled over the ball there, East Fremantle. Umpire says, give it to me. 30 metres out, directly in front. Subiaco's goal.
Bit of a score update from the Claremont versus Swans game. So Swans are 2-3-15 and Claremont yet to score halfway through the first quarter.
So Abby Dowrick keeping her feet again. Just reefs that ball away from the pack. Can't get it clear.
You saw that 7-metre handball to the umpire there too. It's a feature of Abby Dowrick's game. Is you really can use those hands to spread the game.
Stubbs picks it up from a handball from Versace. Crosses it in towards centre half forward. Dangerous position here for East Fremantle. Road keeps it in front of her. Can she pick it up? She hooks it up towards goals. It's over the head of the pack. What a wonderful snap from Road. And showing her skills there. Great netballer. But as Clint said earlier, really developing those football skills very, very quickly. And the 5th goal on the board and a very handy 18-point lead to the Lions.
Very, very good goal awareness. And a snap from a netballer.
Yeah, not seen that before. But also very good shepherd from Jai Syria. They're just giving her enough time to get onto that right foot and put it through.
I reckon we'll give ourselves one more week to talk about her ex-netball career because her football career is very much alive. West Coast Eagles would have their eyes open wide and glaring down on her ability to play the game. I do know that both AFL clubs are aware of the young lady who's wearing number 45 for Subiaco.
So we're ready to go again. East Fremantle want to stop this stem of goals from Subiaco. This game gets too far out of reach. Socket forward by Filacamo. Should provide a great drive out of the middle today. But this time Hill picks it up for East Fremantle. Powers it forward towards Dan. Dan's got a good break on Claire Ortlep. Handballs across there to O'Sullivan. She can't quite grab it. She's under pressure from Subiaco. Well done by Ortlep. Kicks it up towards Viney. Oh, sorry, that's Rosengrave. And there's almost an attempted mark. Bounced in front of her there was a player there. Comes out to Hill. Hill kicks it up towards half forward over the head of her teammate there in Sprillion. And Rachel Ortlep sees it over the boundary line.
That was a big Wong handball again.
Yeah, I don't know how she got up then. She was on the ground and next minute she was up and a big clearing hand pass and again, East Freo can get it out on the outside and move the ball forward.
So Rue in the ruck against Piscaneri. And she just grabs it out of the ruck, Piscaneri. Handballs straight to Wong. Wong on the left foot, kicks it over the head of Bowie. She's got time to run onto it. She's inside 50 now. Powers it forward towards the goal square. It hits the ground. Who's going to grab it out of there? Well, knocked forward by Rue, but knocks it through for a point. So East Fremantle got it in the right area of the ground for them. 2-3-15. Trail Subi 5-2-32.
East Fremantle have got the width and length here controlled. Interesting to see what Subi can do. They look like they're going to chip and check through, as Jono called for earlier.
Devlin takes the resultant kick out. Well done by Blackmore, but she's tackled to the ground. She did grab it. Maybe a prior opportunity. Umpire says no. Nice tackle from Wong again. Piscaneri just pushes the team out of the way, but Versace reads the tap nicely. Claire Ortlep there, punches it away from Dan. Overread there by Rachel Ortlep, picked up here by Sprillion. Handballs it nicely across to a teammate O'Sullivan. Great smother there from Rachel Ortlep, and the ball goes out of bounds. So, East Fremantle, can they lock it inside their 50? Looking for a couple of speedsters to jump onto this ball. Rue knocks it down. Bends down to pick it up against Piscaneri, but I don't think that ball's going anywhere.
Very stagnant there on that throw-in. There wasn't a whole lot of movement from play, so would like to see someone running through and see if they can get on the end of it.
Bit of volleyball going on out there. Dan picks it up one-handed, does well to get it to a boot, but it's just wide of the goals. And a minus score to East Fremantle. So they trail now by 16 points. 2 points now for Catherine Dan. So 3-on-2 here against Subiaco. So Bowie can run back. Can she pick it up before a Subi opponent? So quick for a tall player. She's tackled, though, quickly as soon as she picks it up and returns the favour on Stubbs. And, well kept in there by Stubbs. They had a 2-on-3 there. So Wong gets a free kick up towards half forward. Again, the kick doesn't quite find its mark. Well done there by Alston. Swings around on that right foot. Up at full forward, there's a player there in Tinson. She grabs the ball, handballs in front of her, but she's tackled. Picked up here on the right by Versace. Snaps towards goals, and it bounces through. Well, very quick. Hardly had a look there, Versace, but good enough to rove the ball, throw it onto her right foot, and a very handy goal to the East Fremantle Sharks. 3-4-22. Trial Subiaco 5-2-32.
I reckon there's an East Perth in the score. East Fremantle scorer, because that goal went up on the board before the ball's through. So everyone willing the Sharks back into this contest. But Versace, Emily, you said some movement at the stoppage. She's the one that's got on the fly and a couple of the taps. She was the one that found the football in that stoppage just then. Yeah, definitely. Just coming through, and it's hard to stop someone when they're moving and you're standing still. So good to see her doing that, and hopefully she can do it again here. And she's going to the sweeper's position here, John. So I reckon she's not going to get on the fly at all. Like she knows she's in the point
one's
position.
On the fly here.
Up in the ruck. Knocked forward here by Root. Tap forward again. Beautifully picked up here by Hill. Racing towards full forward. Kicks it over the head of Sprillian, unfortunately for East Fremantle. Sprillian had a good 5 metres on her opponent. Oh, this kick is a little bit wayward as well. So Hill intercepts again. This time on the left foot. Can she find Dan? Oh, but well intercepted there was Ash Cowie. Takes it looking for Road here. There's a bit of a one-on-one contest for strong hands in front of her face. Kakamo couldn't quite spoil that one.
Little height differential between the two.
Kick from Road. Piscaneri keeps it in skillfully, nicely to a teammate. Allows the kick up towards the wing. Racing out there in front is Viney. Ball evades her. And the ball knocked out of bounds. Still killed in there for East Fremantle. So right on the true centre wing here at Leederville Oval. 10-point difference at the moment. Seems to be the scoring end, that northern end at the moment. Up towards the TAFE. Piscaneri misses this one. Oh, brilliantly read from Filacamo, and she breaks the tackle. Not before Wong grabs her again. And incorrect disposal, says the umpire. So free kick there to Sharon Wong. Wong, pass up the wing. Piscaneri's there, looking for Gomes. Well kept in front of her by Joya Syria. She shovels it out. Legally, says the umpire. Rue's in there, so is Piscaneri. And I think this will be a ball up.
In those situations where everyone hits the ground and just decides, if we all just stay still, the umpire will give us a breather. Game's gone up a notch.
Piscaneri barges through. Hill cops one from the shoulder of Piscaneri, but she's okay. Oh, it's holding the ball. There's a player over the top of it. Umpire said didn't do enough to get rid of it, Versace. So free kick to Lim. Oh, great smother by Versace on the mark. What a recovery. Keeps it in front of her, but runs into Piscaneri. She can't quite pick it up. Lim recovers. Well tackled, but maybe a little bit high. And Kakamo giving away the free kick there. It's very crowded at half-forward line for Subiaco. Kicks it up towards Stubbs. Oh, pulls it in one-handed nicely. Centres the ball for Subi. Bounce evades for East Fremantle there. Picked up nicely by Tester. Look at that speed off the mark. Brilliant pace over 5 metres. Kicks a big torpedo up towards full forward. Darragh kept out of it.
Blocked.
And blocked, says the umpire. And Hill took the mark, but there was certainly just sort of stood in a way, so prevented her from getting to the ball. It wasn't a strong one, Clint.
Well, it wasn't Hill that did the block. It was
No.
the other player just turned around and faced her, unfortunately. And when she turned around to face Darragh, she looked straight in the umpire's eyes and gave Darragh a bump. And it was enough.
Bit of a giveaway.
It was
there.
a bit of a giveaway.
So lining up for her third. Oh, lovely kick. Oh, it's just skewed away a little bit to the left. What does the goal umpire say?
I think it swung after it was through.
Yes, and that's a goal. Just snuck in. So the third goal for Abby Darrick. What a debut for her. 6-2-38, Subiaco. Back to a 16-point lead over East Fremantle, 3-4-22.
Definitely a shark in the scorer's box too, because I was watching the board and that score did not change until the umpire made the signal.
It's good to see Tani Tester there taking it on. Bit lucky there to get the free kick because there wasn't much forward for the Subiaco.
3-on-1.
There was three Sharks there, so bit of a get out there for Subi, and unlucky for the Sharks. That was a costly one for them.
As well, the old coach's adage, isn't it? Get the ball in long and deep, and it puts pressure on defenders. So I think they get a couple of ticks for getting the ball in. Tani Tester rolled her opponent beautifully, and then just I'm not sure she selected the inside-out wrong foot torpedo as her punt of choice. It was good enough to draw the free.
Up in the ruck goes Roo. Gets the tap. Well read off the back by Wong again. Over to Hill. Hill's having an influential third quarter. She's tackled across to Roo. Limbs there for Subi. Diving on the ball. Tinson on top of her. Shoveled out to Seth. Seth on the left foot. Scrambles it forward. But Rachel Ortner picks the ball up. Handballs. Follows it up as well. Knocked forward here by Viney. And there's a Subiaco player. Pulls it in. Umpire says that was Lewis. Wong just doesn't do anything half-pace, does she? Sprints off the field on the interchange. Ball goes Lim's way, gets a handball out, but nice intercept by Alston. Alston up towards half forward. And I think a player was held there before the ball came, Gabby O'Sullivan.
Well, Masker would have known that O'Sullivan had her pace there and just a little professional tuck of the jumper.
O'Sullivan up forward. Oh, there's a wonderful mark from Catalano. She's off and running. Runs towards goals. Put the ball. Will it bounce the right way? No, just to the right of the post. Lovely mark and go, though. And a minor score. So the kick goes astray here in the back pocket. Subiaco player in trouble. Pounced upon, and the umpire says holding the ball. Kick didn't find the mark. East Fremantle just pounced on that Subiaco player who said drag the ball. Quick play on here from Gomes, and a lovely pass. Finds a teammate right in front, Sprillion, about 15 metres out.
You curse her, Jono.
She should kick this.
She is a very good kicker of the footy, Sprillion, and she's a noted goal kicker too, so should be no curse here.
This one, yep, straight through the middle. There's another goal scored to that end. East Fremantle 4-5-29, keeping themselves in it. Subiaco 6-2-38.
Much better there from East Freo. Playing on, obviously good pressure in the forward line, got that kick in. So a bit of a 7-point play there for them, which is nice.
They were set up really early, weren't they? They forced them to kick that ball short. Ashton Cowie a little unlucky because the ball didn't carry to her, and I think when she was tackled, she never actually had it. But she rolled over onto her back to show the umpire, and the umpire said, no. The modern game dictates that you need to play the ball forward. Gomesy with the kick in was beautiful, and found Sprillion right at the top of the tape where it's a good place for a good forward to stand.
So Stubbs back on the ball. She spent a fair bit of time up forward today.
Not sure East Freo's goal's been added to the board, has it? Am I wrong?
No, you're right. It should be 4-5.
So a couple of lines have gone up to the box and tossed out the Shark scorer.
Oh, again, a wonderful leap from Rue over the top, but well read by Filacamo. She's tackled strongly, and that'll be holding the ball. Hill there. Sorry, not Hill. Philippa Seth, the captain, leading from the front. Oh, barging out this time. Great recovery from O'Sullivan. Keeps it in front of her, keeps her feet, kicks it out in front of Dan. She's got some assistance out there, but well read in the meantime there for Subiaco, and they get the handball away. Finds Rosengrave. She runs up to the wing. It's a good recovery, looking for Darrick, but she's behind this time. East Fremantle have got the numbers. Seth dives on it. Out there, Norrish as well.
Interesting there. The Subi defender was the only one that actually went to the ball. The other two kind of looked each other in the eye and waited for the other one to go.
Socket away by Rue into the path of Seth. She's been chased by Piscaneri. The two captains one-on-one. Seth beats her for pace. Up towards half forward, inside 50. Grab tip for Subi, but a strong tackle there. Over to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan now, what she's going to do with it? Weaves around one. Centres the ball. Up towards Bowie at full forward. Over the top of there. Dan runs onto the ball. Into the goal square and pounds it through. Up towards the TAFE. Well, good run from Catherine Dan. She puts through her first goal. 1-2 now. And East Fremantle pulled to within 3 points of Subiaco. 5-5-35. Subi 6-2-38.
Game slowed down for Dan then. She knew exactly what was going to happen. She'd pre-read the script, found the loose footy and just pounded it home. Fantastic footy, instinctive footy from Dan.
And good to see East Freo moving the ball in quick and letting Dan use her instincts as well. Obviously, got a bit of talent there and really showed that. Put the defenders under pressure.
Seth and O'Sullivan up and about for Freo's midfield. Or O'Sullivan's at half forward at the moment, but really starting to have an effect on the game.
So we got a really tight one here at Leederville Oval. Up goes Rue again, jumping over the top of Piscaneri. Seth, again out of the middle from the captain. Pounds it forward. There's Claire Ortlep, reading it well. She's tackled quickly, gets the kick up. Fortunately, finds a teammate. There, coming out of the centre, there is Devlin. Devlin, up towards the middle now. Oh, but reading it nicely is Roxanne Rue, running the same way as the ball. Takes the intercept mark, another turnover. And there's a player at the back of the pack. Oh, well intercepted by Cowie. She spoils her. Handball comes out nicely. Onto the boot, looking for Rode. She's spoilt by Alston. East Fremantle through O'Sullivan. Over the head of Cowie. Bounces out of bounds. Just to the left of the post.
Rhodes getting a bit of attention there. Bit of push and shove on the wing when they lined up. And that player standing nice and close to her there. Don't want to let her loose.
No, deservedly so. She's definitely a definite highly skilled playmaker, right?
Alston applying some... Just letting her know she's there, Rode. Up they go in the ruck, bounces out towards Dan. Oh, she grabs it out of the air, snaps, but only as far as Cowie. Cowie gets a bump as she's kicked, but far enough away. Picked up by Rode. She gets a strong bump from Seth. She gets a little dribble. Oh, look at this pace here from Stubbs. Tears away from the pack, up towards the wing. Little shove out from Dowrick, and that's seen by the umpire. Julianne Norrish playing the front position. East Fremantle starting to dominate the forward 50 entries now. Up towards Rue, why wouldn't you? But Devlin reads it nicely off the pack. A dangerous crossing kick. Lim can't take the mark. Spoiled by Alston, but Lim's good enough to get the handball away to Filacamo. Up towards the wing. Running back here for East Fremantle. The ball just keeps going. Missed by Tester. Allows East Fremantle to get the handball away. There's a player strongly tackled. Tries to barge through the pack. And couldn't get it through. That was Devlin. Lovely tackle.
It was really good from Devlin too to accept the contact too rather than cough that up.
Rue over the top. Versace skillfully just grabs it off the top of the pack. Scrambles it forward. Over the top of the ball there is Tapner. And she's beset upon by Marning. That leap from Rue is fantastic. That vertical leap. She's getting a bit of body contact this time from Piscaneri. Applies a strong tackle. The ruck for Subi there. Lim again applies a strong tackle.
Lim's unheralded. I think Lim's been very good today. Her pace, enjoyed her footy last year, and her pace and skills, ability to get in and under, are really impressive.
This is a bit like a game of rugby last minute or two. Just in there.
Players just tiring.
Rolling maul. Piscaneri again. Comes out to Versace. Shoveled out the back. Lim picks it up, and there's the siren. Well, we've got a fantastic game ahead of us. 3 points the margin. Great quarter there from East Fremantle. They seem to have found the scoring end to the northern end. Subiaco 6-2-38, kicked 2 straight that quarter. East Fremantle 5-5-35, kicking 3 goals, 3. We might take a break here from our all-important supporters and sponsors, and then we'll be back with our 3-quarter time wrap.
If you need it live streamed, you need Front Row Screens. Visit frontrowscreens.com.au.
Nature knows it's better to be part of a group than out on your own. To be surrounded by others whose sole purpose is to keep you safe and well. At Bupa, we call it Members First. A network of thousands of healthcare providers, all there for you. Search Bupa Members First.
The high ball. Don't you diddle, don't you daddle, you better skedaddle. You need to run for your life. Well, like Virginia creeper, we didn't want to keep her, just maybe for a while. You're lately in a hurdling. Well, I feel that day.
Hi, Dom Sheed from the West Coast Eagles. I grew up playing my junior footy at Mines Rovers Football Club, just like Kerry. Find your local footy club and register today.
Visit play.afl for more information.
AFL is a game for everyone. Find a version that's right for you.
Welcome back to Leadable Oval. You're on the live stream here on WAFL.com.au and also the WAFL Facebook page. You're with David Clear, then Digger Brock and Emily Johnson here, commentating for the live stream this afternoon. And a brilliant Mother's Day match this afternoon. I'm sure there's plenty of mothers watching their daughters play out there today. 3-point margin, Subiaco 6-2-38, lead East Fremantle 5-5-35. Well, from here, Em, what do you think might happen?
If last week is anything to go by, I think East Freo will go from strength to strength. And Subi faded a little bit last week, particularly in that last quarter. So it should be an interesting battle and see if they can really fight back and try and hold this lead and maybe extend it a little bit.
Yeah, Subi have to score early and hopefully a couple of times to keep East Fremantle at bay. Last week they didn't score in the last quarter at all, did they?
No, I don't think they did.
From memory, and I think Swans were able to generate sort of 6 to 8 shots. Only score was sort of 3 or 4 of them and just points, kick a couple out of bounds in the full and a couple that fell short too, which allowed Subiaco to hold on to their much greater lead than they hold at the moment. So Sharkies will just be coming to their own. They'll have a very distinct plan. You can see Nikki Harwood doing some very, very strong hand gestures to her group down there, and you'd imagine that Sarah Michelle and her team will be really pushing the message, stopping the midfield leaks and getting the ball forward as far as fast as they can.
Really building up some rivalry, these two clubs, Subiaco and East Fremantle. Wonderful grand final last year after East Fremantle had such a dominant year in the qualifying rounds. But Subiaco came home in a storming finish, but East Fremantle eventually prevailed by 5 points, 3-point margin here. So, really building up a good rivalry, these two clubs.
Yeah, certainly. And Subiaco had a really slow start to the season last year. I think they lost their first 4 games, and then kind of the second half of the season they just were on a roll. And even going into the grand final, they always a chance. And I think it was closer than people thought it might have been. But yeah, it was really great to see them come home really strong. But East Freo, obviously the dominant team all year, and got the job done in the end.
Subiaco definitely looking to score. They've got Stubbs, Jaya Saria, Sarah Lewis, Abby Darrick and Tani Tester out of the square. So some firepower up front, and their backs are just as solid as consistent as they've been for the rest of the day too. Cowie leading those with 2 Ortleps and some other tall timber down there to help. So definitely Subiaco trying to shoot this one out.
And Em, you've got a score from Claremont and Swan Districts? Current score?
So partway through the second quarter, Swans are 3 goals 3-21 and Tigers are 3 goals 1-19. So a 3-goal quarter there for the Tigers in that second quarter.
Good comeback, good start from Swans.
Rumour has it Amanda Robertson has it all 3.
Unconfirmed.
Just started just then.
Here we go. 3-point the margin. We've got another 18 minutes of football to go. Great game here at Leadable Oval. Tap forward here by Pescaneri. She follows up her work. Some good pace from the tall ruck. Picked up here nicely for Subi by Maskell. Up towards centre half forward. High goes Lewis. There's Devlin. She picks up nicely. One grab, but she's strongly tackled by Tinson. Ball goes to ground. Umpire says play on. Comes out the back of the pack over towards Versace. She handballs forward. Umpire says play on again. Barging in there is Jaya Syria. And finally, the umpire says give it to me. So right on the 50-metre line here for Subiaco. Bowie in the ruck. Piscaneri gets it down though. Hard to get out of that pack.
We've seen this in every quarter. Start of every quarter, there's about 5 ball ups, and then someone will break through.
Oh, Piscaneri almost taken out of the ruck there. Bowie follows her. Ball being shovelled out towards the side of the pack. Strong tackle there by Stubbs.
Still not seeing much moving around that stoppage. No one's really running through the stoppage and taking it on. A lot of maybe jogging. You're pretending to run through it.
Versace tackled to the ground. Tackle maybe just drifting a little high there, but umpire says that was legal. Up it goes again. I'm sure the umpire's looking for a break here. Oh, but nicely, finally out the back of the pack goes Hill. Kicks it out towards the wing. And a nice bounce here for Rode. Fumbles the first time. She's tackled strongly there, but gets it away. Kikamo tried to tackle. Abby Darrick leads out. Nice handball over the top to Lewis. Finds Rode again. She snaps it round. There's a one-on-one contest here. Oh, well done there at full back. Gets a hand to it there in, where are we? 34, Zoe Gillard.
Nice work from Tester too to try and turn Gillard around. Gillard just refused to be moved off the 45.
So Gillard wastes no time. Takes advantage of this new rule. Just wanders out of the square. Bowery in front. Takes a strong contested mark. Touches it to her body. Bowery goes defensively. And there's a strong mark in front of her face this time by Bree Marnie. So she'll send it straight back into old Subiaco's 50. All skewed a little bit off the side of the boot there from Bowie. Oh, just lobs it up. Oh, and a courageous mark here from Filicamo. Been very consistent today.
Subi just controlling it in here. Don't want to rush it. Don't want to miss this opportunity in their forward 50.
Kick goes high and a great contested mark there by Stubbs. Just taking it down one-on-one. And really the kick wasn't out in front of her. But she just dragged it down. Wonderful mark above her head. She's got a shot for goal here. It's about 45 metres. This will test her distance. And it's got a lob just in the goal square over the back of the pack. And there's a chest mark there for the Lions. Tani Tester just drifting to the back of the pack. And the ball floated over the top and she just took it on her chest. So it's going to be a tough kick here. She goes the banana. Comes round over the top of the goal umpire's head, I think. Skillfully executed from Tester. She was confident. She went in a valuable goal to Subi. As you said, Clint, they want to score early. 7-3-45. East Fremantle 5-5-35.
Subiaco have started with all the run. That was fantastic by Tester. She got the read early. I was watching her over the back, and when the kick went wider, she actually dropped back to the post, came back up to the contest, and then read the ball really well. So, fantastic read of the flight from the kick there from Tester, and what a great finish.
Yeah, she finished. She had one similar to that last week on the opposite side. So we know now she's got good skills, can do it from both sides.
Probably man her up in the goal square, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
She's been spending a bit of a childhood down the local park, I reckon.
Yeah, she's a long time as a small forward and a small effective forward, that's for sure, for South. And now Subiaco, I think she originally started with the Coastal Titans.
Oh, just sprinting out the middle there is Maskell. She's tackled up before she gets the kick away. Oh, gets strongly there in a tackle, gets the handball away. Following up nicely is Devlin. Devlin up towards full forward again. Tester is in there again, but East Fremantle, Pundle over there is East Fremantle player at full back. And there'll be a free kick here, going the way of the Sharks. Norrish, kick across the goal, looking for Lodge. Lodge has got plenty of space. Talking about space, there's a player all on her own out there in Hill. Hill looking for leads, urging her teammates to come towards her. Over the top, plenty of Subiaco defenders there. O'Sullivan is in there. And Catalano, almost arguing over it. And there'll be another ball up. Plenty of Subiaco players around the ball there. Towards the back of the pack, Cowie gets the kick away. Wong chases the ball. Looks like there's a bit of fatigue setting in now. More space opening up. Wong evades the tackle nicely. Gets help from a teammate in Hill. Tries to find Tinson, but the kick didn't execute that well. Straight to Piscaneri. Piscaneri almost tackled there. Gets the handball away. Bowie intercepts. Over to Seth. Oh, Seth didn't quite get it to boot either, but she follows up, keeps her feet, gets it up towards Sprillian. She sprints out around Rachel Ortlett, gets it on the left, puts it out in front of Rue. Rue picks it up nicely. One grab, swivels around, makes space for herself. Kicks it in towards 50. Player there in Gomes overruns the ball. Out the back's Claire Ortlett. She's intercepted by Gomes. Goes at the back of the pack, and Gomes is tackled over the boundary line.
Just a bit shallow on that one, Jono.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot today, and they want to get that one in a bit deep. Really good work from Philippa Seth on the outside there, just kicking it to advantage and letting Roxy Rue get on the end of it. And then, of course, a shallow kick. Would have liked to see that one go a bit further in to their 50.
Piscaneri just takes it out of the ruck, gets early position against Rue, throws it onto the boot, straight to her opposing ruck in Bowie. Bowie juggles it to herself, tries to find Tinson in the middle, but puts it up high, allows Jai Syria in. She spoils. Norrish keeping it in front of her, grabbed here strongly by Devlin, and strongly tackled is Norrish. No room for the faint-hearted out there. So Fremantle a couple of kicks out from goal. Wong runs onto it now. She's covered huge amounts of ground today. Keeps it in front of her. Shovels it out to Tinson. She's tackled strongly. Out to Jai Syria. She finds some yardage.
Interesting.
10 to 15 metres will be last possession.
She does shovel it, but I'm telling you, she actually fists it as well.
Does she?
She does. Everything, single one of them looks like a shovel, but she does get her fist to the footy.
So Hill, resultant free kick. Centres the ball. 3 or 4 Subi players. Filacamo just takes that ball. Wonderful clearance from the pack. And a beautiful pass finds Stubbs. Stubbs providing valuable length this quarter up forward. Tester over the back of the pack. Spoils her opponent. Did she take a front on? No. Umpire says play on. Abby Darrick is in there. Applies the tackle. Fremantle got some numbers. Hill picks it up. Tackled by Abby Darrick. She does well. Good recovery. Hooks it round. Inside 50 for Subi, but it's all East Fremantle. Running back there gets the handball across to Seth. Seth goes wider to Kakamo. She's got 10 metres on her opponent, but Rode, look at the ground she makes up. What pace, and she's grabbed her. Well, she gave a 10 metre start. Got it handball away, Kakamo, but what a great recovery there from Rode. And she just tracked her down and applied the tackle. A throw in about 80 metres round from Subiaco's goal. In front, Rue. Oh, look at that. Straight through the pack by Devlin. Hit the ball running. Running back there for East Fremantle is Lodge. Can she keep it in front of her? She gets support from her teammate. Desperate kick out of defence. Almost a mark there for Subiaco. Pack forms. Only about 25 metres out. Desperate defence from the Sharks.
Fantastic from Devlin there. Hit the pack with pace and broke about 3 tackles there.
This time she's up in the ruck against Rue. Players are getting tired now. And there's a free kick here for some reason. Someone held off the ball, I think. And unfortunately for the Sharks, it's a free kick to Wong. Wong puts it out in front nicely in Gomes. Gomes spills the mark. Gets the kick up towards the wing. Blackmore intercepts for Subi. Handballs across. Picked up by Viney. A wonderful tackle by Versace. Umpire says play on. Oh, they go in hard. It's a tough tackle from Lim on her opponent. In Seth. Ruin the ruck again. Players are tired out there. Seth applies the tackle. Another ball up. Well, it's a valuable lead at the moment. 10 points for Subiaco. We're 9 minutes in. 18-minute quarters. So the more longer Subiaco lock it into their forward line, more valuable for them. Players over the top of the ball. The umpire was circling there. Oh, there's a almost rock and wrestling there. Is it thrown over the line by Versace? East Fremantle, it's the wrong end of the ground for them at the moment. They need to get some run going. Lewis in front. Tinson taps it over to a teammate. Nicely done to Rue. Rue another possession, but it goes straight out of bounds. So that'll be a kick to Subiaco.
Solid today, Rachel. Ortlap.
Yeah. Ortlap up towards half forward. Up goes Darrick. Contests picked up by Wong. Another possession for her over to Seth. She's tackled strongly. And Yes, there's a bit of late treatment there for Seth. And there'll be a free kick further downfield.
Abby Darrick just using her muscle there a bit after Seth had kicked it. So a fair free kick to that one.
So Tapner takes the free kick. This time straight to Blackmore. He's got to start finding their targets, who's Fremantle. They're almost held off the ball. Claire Ortlep backs up. Plenty of Subiaco support back there, but Ortlep's tackled. Socket, oh, nicely. Oh, the kicking in danger, says the umpire. So almost to the advantage of East Fremantle. Caitlin Walker takes the free kick. Across to Claire Ortlep. She's been excellent at half-back today. Up towards the wing, spot by Darrick. Wong again. She's been fantastic on the wing there for East Fremantle. Up towards Brilliant. Wonderful grab over the top. Contested mark. Claire Ortlep again. I don't know how many marks she's dragged down today, Clint, but she's been dominant.
Well, she's just read everything really, really well. And she's been the start of their attack. She's been one of the best on the ground all over together, but her elite read of the ball and her use of foot is solid too. Not quite her best kick that time, but supremely skilled, born footballer, Claire Ortlep.
Sharon Wong, she's just run herself into the ground today. Lewis over the back. Picked up by Versace. She's strongly tackled by Lim. Ball goes to ground. Handball shoveled forward. Picked up by Tinson, but she's set upon by three Subiaco players. They're good enough to get the turnover. Up towards the wing. Wong running towards it, but out comes Harkin. Strong tackle from Wong. Drags her to the ground. Umpire says no prior.
Time ticking away now. 5 minutes to play.
Up they go, Lewis. Just a hard one to bring to ground. There'll be another ball up. Subi getting numbers around the ball, Clint, at the moment.
And they're also set up well behind the ball as well.
They've got two loose behind, so if East Fremantle do kick this, it's likely to be springboarded. But Cowie and is it Claire Ortlep behind the footy.
Looks like it, yeah.
Up they go on the ruck again. Lim out the back. Beaten to it this time nicely by Seth. It's a handball to a running Sprillion. She's come up the field to try and get the ball out. That means Subi got players back in defence. Nice handball. Back to Cowie. Cowie to Rachel Ortlep. Kicks it up towards centre half forward. Mark spilt by Alston. It gives Subi a time to tackle through Viney. Players jump on the ball again, but valuable time being chewed up here with 13 minutes 40 in. We've got just over 4 minutes to go. Tough for East Fremantle. They need 2 goals. Subiaco holding it up nicely. Just need to get some run going this time. Chance here for East Fremantle through Tapner. Gets the ball up in front of Versace. Dan comes in and intercepts. Nicely done. Swivels around on that right foot. Puts it out in front of Bowie. Will it bounce right for her? There's a player over the back and Sprillion, but she can't get clear. And holding the ball. Well done by that Subiaco defence. The Ortlep girls tackling Bowie and forcing the turnover. This ball, though, kicked over the head. Finds Tapner. It could be another turnover here. Beats the Viney tackle. Crosses it in nicely into the middle. East Fremantle got numbers there, but spilled the mark. Tinson allows Subiaco in to tackle them. Well, that was a big opportunity. Clint gone begging.
Well, Sprillion had dropped forward of the footy and was just 30 metres of space. Just couldn't quite squirt the ball through to her.
Filicamo again out towards the boundary. Stubbs in this run to the ball. Leads it, but it goes out of bounds. So last possession.
I think the drop mark is the last piece of our development inside the game. I think it's too many players just putting those marks on the footy just changes the whole feel and context of the game when you drop the ball and bring the oppo back into it.
Kind of ruins the flow as well. If a team's got a flow going and then suddenly a link in that is the mark's dropped, then the opposition just picks it up and goes, and you lose all the structure that you've set up is now gone.
It's not a skill thing either.
No.
It's just a concentration thing.
Yeah. Seen a few drop marks here this afternoon, but maybe the sun has been in their eyes.
Out on the wing, Versace battles for it. Picked up by O'Sullivan, screws it round towards half forward, but again Subi numbers behind the ball. Claire Ortlep takes just another mark. Up towards the wing. Ball shoved forward by Tapnut nicely. On towards Seth. Seth hasn't stopped trying today, but that ball goes out of bounds. So again a kick under pressure, and there'll be a free kick to Subiaco. Bit over 2 minutes remaining. Up towards the wing. East Fremantle need to grab this straight away. But Abby Darrick nicely off the back of the pack. Over towards Stubbs. Harkin is there. Picked up by Stubbs. Oh, she's broken clear of the pack now. 1 bounce, 2 bounces, 3 bounces. She's running clear of her opponent now. She's going to have a shot for goal. Kicks it in towards full forward and just to the left of the goalpost. Well, that would have wrapped the game up for sure. She did have a player running on her left, but decided to go herself.
She did. Harkin picked off the tackler. Just about to grab hold of Stubbs then, and Harkin knocked her away with a great block. Allowed Stubbs the run into goal.
Kick goes wide to Kakamo. Good mark under pressure. She's looking for Alston. Road comes in, intercepts nicely, knocks it out of her hands.
Oh dear.
That allows a player there in Devlin to kick it in towards full forward. 3 Fremantle players there. Norris picks it up nicely. Oh, the kick skews off the side of the boot. Won't quite go out of bounds, but Road again reads it beautifully. Well, she forced the intercept, got the turnover, and now she's taken the resultant mark again. And a nice pass. Well, there's a player all out on her own. Takes an easy lead and mark. And this is just about the game, I reckon. 45 seconds remain. And with Subiaco a shot on goal, Jamie Harkin has a chance to end the game on a high note. Tough shot, though, from the boundary line.
It is probably no easier than the shot that Lyndall Road would have had, but Harkin just needs to take 30 seconds off the clock here and just to ensure this game's in Subi's pocket.
No, hit off the side of the boot, up towards the top of the square, and a lovely mark in defence there for East Fremantle. Goes out towards Versace. Kicks it up in front of Alston, but it goes out of bounds. So a few kicks have gone that way this afternoon for East Fremantle. Kicking under pressure, not quite finding their targets. So there it is. Subiaco win this grand final rematch. WAFLW round 2. They prevail by 11 points, 7-4-46. Kicking 1 goal, 2 in that last quarter. And East Fremantle scoreless. Well, we didn't quite predict that, but compared to last week, good finish by Subi, and they showed some more, I suppose, durability and fitness in this game.
Yeah, very good finish by Subi. I think at the end, I suppose the message at three-quarter time might have been to fight hard. They know they faded last week, so a bit of extra endeavour has gone a long way here. And East Freo just didn't have any control in that quarter, hardly getting an inside 50. So, yeah, it's good to see Subi.
Pressure around the ball from the Lions was impressive. East Fremantle just couldn't get any of their running game going, and Subi didn't allow them any space.
That was quite obvious the message when they put the 5 guns in the forward in the forward 50 at the last quarter there, and then their sort of defensive on-ball brigade was definitely had to be jamming in there and stick and then keep it in. It was outstanding to deny East Fremantle any of their own sort of running game outside. Controlled the width and the length of the game for that quarter, for the entirety of the quarter. I think they just out-tackled, out-pressure and out-smothered and out-worried East Fremantle in quarter 4. And it was the quarter that let them get the job done. They're 2-0.
Yep, wonderful effort. We know that these two sides are going to be very evenly matched this season. Abby Darrick on her debut, wonderful game from her. She got better as the game went longer. 3 goals for her, 1 to Courtney Stubbs, 1 to Beatrice Devlin, 1 to Lyndall Road, who was so impressive, and Tani Tester, a nice banana goal there, the only goal in that last quarter. And for East Fremantle, all singles, Cara Sprillian, Roxanne Rue, Catherine Dan, 1 goal, 2, Kimberly Bowie and Larissa Versace. So, wonderful win for Subiaco, and we see here that the two teams just congratulating each other. But it's been a warm day, and we saw some fatigue in that last quarter, particularly when Sharon Wong just fought on, but even she was slowing down towards the end.
Yeah, I think East Freo felt it more than Subi did in the end. But at this time of the year, when you're still getting weather like this, you don't have the wet footy. It's better footy to watch. The players do get tired, but it's much cleaner game. The perfect conditions. There's not a breath of wind and the sun's shining, so couldn't have asked for a better day, really. Quickly,
we might run through the better players. Clint, I might ask you for Subiaco's better players and then East Fremantle.
Yep.
I like Claire Ortlock from the start. I think she really stood up when East Fremantle had the game on their own terms, and she provided fierce resistance all day. For me, one of the best, if not the best. I thought Lara Felakamo was very consistent across 4 quarters, driving them forward. She just consistently gets first hands on the footy and gets them moving, going their way. Also liked Aaliyah Maskell, particularly in the first half. 6 or 7 marks, particularly intercepting and defensively throughout that little piece at the front. Tani Tester gets a special mention too because she's so dangerous down there. And can you keep Abby Derrick with 3 goals out of the votes?
Yeah.
And for Easter, I thought Roxanne Rue played a pretty full game. She played all 4 quarters and didn't let Piscaneri use her size against her. Made sure that she jumped and ran at the ball. That's Rue. Philippa Seth as well, just fought hard to the end, won a lot of ball in the middle and looked to use the outlets with the switch. Sometimes it didn't pay off, but you can't help that. And Gabby O'Sullivan as well, first game back after the AFLW season. I thought she did quite well. And of course Sharon Wong all day, really using her pace to her advantage as well. So good to see those girls firing. And of course Catherine Dan we saw up forward, some skills up from the Cable Beach Football Club up in Broome. So good to see her down in Perth and having a good crack at it as well.
Yeah, we see a few of the highlights. Melissa Lim was busy, particularly in the second half for Subiaco, just pounding the ball forward. Generally the scoring, interestingly enough, was done mainly to this northern end. It wasn't a lot of breeze today, Clint, but it seemed to be the scoring end today.
Seemed to be the end where we intended to score, I guess, where they realised let's have a real crack this quarter. I think it was just happened to go with the momentum of the game. When East Fremantle had control of the footy, that's the way they were going at the time, and I think Subiaco had a good 2 cracks at that end of the ground too, and during those both times just coincidentally had full control of the game.
Yeah, well, wonderful contest today, and we're really looking forward to the clashes between these two sides as the season progresses. Well, nearly time to leave us, but don't forget there'll be a game live streamed every week over the 15 rounds here as Subiaco celebrate. Sing the team song out there on the ground every week here on WAFL.com.au, but also on the WAFL Facebook page. Don't forget to tell your friends, share the Facebook feed, share the replays. It'll be available on the WAFL website for all to see. But some wonderful women's football, the best the state has to offer, and we'll be really looking forward to bringing you all the action this season.
So just something scary to mention for those teams that are lining up against Subiaco in the next couple of weeks is Hayley Miller's due back.
Good, yeah.
So if they can win without Hayley Miller, she's not going to hurt their causes at all this season.
And Mackenzie Darrick, is she going to play a few games?
She's just about ready to go. I think the rules are they'll play 7. They'll play 15 in the season.
15 for the season.
Yeah. So they'll come back in too. Darrick will provide some real drive off the halfback flank, and Miller, just a spiritual and actual leader of this footy club.
Yeah.
And don't forget Eagles' newest recruit, Dana Hooker, as well, to come back into the side.
Yeah.
So it only gets better. It gets better for East Freo as well, but geez, Subiaco gets scary too.
All right, so some more players to come back in, so some more action for the rest of the season. Emily Johnson, Clint Deggerbrock, thanks very much for joining us today, for your insights and your knowledge of both teams, and particularly the younger players. It was so refreshing to see some of the stars of tomorrow play today. So David Clear signing off on behalf of the WAFLW live stream. Make sure you join us back again next week, and we'll be here for the rest of the season for the 15 rounds. Signing off today from Leadable Oval, Subiaco the victors by 11 points.
This WAFLW live stream is proudly brought to you by Optus, proud naming rights partner of the WAFL, and WAFLW, Bupa, proud sponsor of WA football, and the West Coast Eagles, supporting WA female footballers to follow their dreams.